Good morning. Today, we are going to do something a little bit different. We've been dividing with decimals this week. We're going to divide, but we're going to use whole numbers today. And we're going to do something different. We're going to divide with a two-digit divisor. Two-digit divisor. Now, don't let this scare you, okay? No reason to scare you. You work this exactly the same way as you always have. Okay, are you ready? Remember our steps? Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and then either repeat or remainder, whichever one you need to use at the time. Dad, mom, sister, brother, and Rover. You got it. Okay? First step. Again, work it exactly the same way you always do. My divisor is 53. So how many times does 53 go into 7? You know that won't work. So that has to be what? Of course, 0. Isn't that how we've worked it before? Now, if we start out with 0, we can skip all the other steps and just go ahead and join these two digits together and make one number. How many 53s are in 76? Now, I know 53 is about 50, and two 50s are a 100. 100 is a lot more than 76, but I can do 153, right? There is 153. So let's go ahead and do that. That's our division. One time. Multiplication is next. 1 times 53 is 53. And then, of course, we subtract next. Right? 3, 2. Now, I know we have two digits down there already, but we cannot skip a step. We just subtracted, so we have to do what? We have to bring down. Let's bring down the 2. And now we're going to have a 3-digit number. Okay? Now, I like to estimate. Estimation can make this a lot easier. This is about 50, right? This is a little bit over 200. So how many 50s are in 200? 50, 100, 150, 200. And I know another 50 would make 250. That's going to be too much. But 4 of them would make somewhere around 200, a little bit less than, or actually a little bit more than. Let's try 4. Now, I don't know what 4 times 53 is, but let's work it out. Here's how you can do this. Well, one way you can do it is just on the side, 53 times 4. That might be, for right now, that might be the simplest way. That's a super easy question. Don't get bogged down by that. We know that inside and out. That's 12. Regroup the 1. And 5 times 4 is 20 plus 1 is 21. So 212 is what 4 times 53 is. Ready? Okay, 212. 4 times 53, 212. And then all we have to do is subtract, right? Okay, let's subtract. 0, 2, 0. I like to leave the 0 in the front out because it's kind of deceptive, makes the number look longer than it is, okay? But our remainder is 20. Okay, am I finished though? No, because after I subtract, I can still bring down. Let's bring down the 0 and I make 200. Now watch this. Let's use our heads here. 4 53s equal 212. So we want something close to 4 but less than 4. Obviously, what's close to 4 but less than 4? It's 3. Pretty much has to be 3, right? Now, if you're like me, maybe you don't know what 53 times 3 is right off the top of your head. So don't be afraid to just work it out. 53 times 3 is, 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 3 is 15. So that's 159 when we multiply 53 times 3. Okay, now all we have to do is subtract. Let me get you in the picture here, right there. Now be very careful, guys. Don't get lazy with this. Do you see this? 0 minus 9 is not 9. You can't do that. You can't subtract 9 from 0. You can't borrow from 0. But you know what? You can borrow from 20. If I take 1 away from 20, what does that leave me with? 19. So I'm going to put 1 here, 9 here, and this becomes a 10 because I'm regrouping so that the 0 gains an entire 10. Now it's easy. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 5 is 4. 1 minus 1 is just, they just cancel each other out. It's 0. So now the next step is bring down. Can I bring down? There's nothing to bring down. So guess what? I'm completely finished. And you're probably saying, Mr. Cowart, that's a huge remainder. How can we have a remainder that large? 53 is our divisor. As long as the number is less than 53, it can be a remainder. 52 could be a remainder. It's possible. 51, 45, 39, any of those could be remainders. 53 could not be a remainder because if it were, that 3 could be a 4 and that would equal 200. All right. So that is a remainder. And we write the remainder up here. Trim the unnecessary 0 off the front. And our quotient is 143 with a remainder of 41. Easy enough? Let's try one more. And keep in mind, you can always come back to this video anytime you need to. Give me just a second to write this next one down. I'm going to have 2,915 divided by 52 this time. 52. All right. Now, let's say somebody was going to pay me over the course of a year $2,915 in 52 weeks. 52 weeks is one whole year. So every week I get a certain amount of money until this is used up. And I'm kind of wondering, how much money would I get every week? How much would that be? In 52 weeks, how much money would it be to split up 2,915? Let's work it out and see. Are you ready? Let's try. Okay. 52 does not go into 2. Everybody agrees with me, right? Thumbs up. And we'll skip this, 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 and this because we can just join these two together, make another number. And if we worked all of those steps, we'd still have 29 down here. It'd be no different. Okay. Now, another question. How many 52s go into 29? None. What? How do we do that? Well, same way you did before. If it's none, it's 0. It is possible to have 2 zeros. Now, let's join all 3 digits up in our dividend. 291. That's almost 300, but not quite. This is about 50. How many 50s will go into 300? 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. 6. 6. Look, I'm out of the picture there. 6. Okay? 6 of them. But this isn't 50, it's 52. So it's more than 50. So 6 would be too much. And actually, this is less than 300. So what would be just slightly less than 6? That would be a good start. Yeah, let's try 5. And 52 times 5. We just work that on the side. 10. And regroup. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26. So 5 times 52 is 260. And we subtract. And we get 31. And you're saying, Mr. Cowart, that seems like a big remainder. Remember, as long as the remainder is less than 52, it's okay. Nothing wrong with that. You can have, your remainder on here could be as high as 51, depending on what this is. Okay? Next step, bring down. Now, this is a little bit over 300, and this is still a little bit more than 50. We said 6 50s in 300. Let's see if 6 times this will give us this, or close to it. Okay, 52 times 6, that would be 6 times 2 is 12. Regroup the 1. And this is 30 plus 1 is 312. Guess what? We're awfully close, aren't we? and we didn't go over. So 6 52s equal 312. And when we subtract, we get 3. And we cannot bring down. Now, since we're not using decimals, we can have a remainder. If we were using decimals, we'd have to get rid of our remainder by adding placeholders. But we don't have to do that with whole numbers. So our remainder is just 3. Is there anything else I need to do to this quotient? Yeah, I need to trim these unnecessary 2's off the front. Nobody writes 56 like that. Okay? They're just placeholders. Our quotient, 56 with a remainder of 3. It's that easy. You can do this. You can do this easily. Now, I've only given you a few problems today. Take your time, work each step, and always come back to this video if you get stuck. There are only certain steps involved in this, very low. So you can do well. Give it a shot.